Hey guys, welcome back to the garage today. Eric, Coach Carp with Carp's Gym, and we're here today for the second installment talking about
Yes, tell us.
mag pins. Stick with me and we're going to check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to the video. We're here taking a look at the biggest, baddest, beefiest, overbuilt mag pins. Now these are the Bare Steel Equipment 1-inch stacked power pins, and as you can see, they are pretty good size. They have a 6-shooter type design of magnets, or 6 magnets in a 6-shooter design around the handle or base. All steel construction. It's a 5-inch shaft with a 2.7-inch head or base on it. Handle, head, base, handle. I don't know the exact term for that, but you guys get it. They come with an embossed logo and a 3D epoxy, and you can see it's a really awesome looking logo. And you catch that it's got a shine to it. This is their standard skull logo, Bare Steel Equipment. They also have a lot of customization options. They allow you to do a customized end cap where you can put your own logo in there for an extra charge. And then you can also, mine are the Bare Steel version. They look kind of like stainless steel, but they're actually Bare Steel. They've held up really well, so they're polished nicely and everything. They look really well. I've had them for several months, and there's no really rust or any kind of anything on them. So they look great. The magnets are very strong. They have about 30 pounds of pull. So in some instances, they're even hard to get off. So you know there's a lot of security, and these are very strong magnets. So they do very well in holding on all your different attachments. They should work on almost every attachment, including lever arms, but they will not work on like certain types of J-cups, like the Irwin Fitness. They have, they will still fit in the hole, but they would extend out. Now these are for racks with 1-inch hole spacing. It's a 1-inch shaft diameter, but they do have 5/8 available in the same length, the same magnet size. So if you're a 5/8 person, you're not left out. These are offered in the 5/8 as well. These are definitely the biggest mag pins I've seen. The biggest, strongest, sturdiest. I have an example here of it's a standard, a cheapo. It's also a 6-shooter type design, but as you can see, they're much smaller. The shaft length, it's a 1-inch, so they're both 1-inch, but this one is about 1/2 inch shorter. And look at the size difference. Look at these two next to each other. I mean, let me move that out of the way. You look at the size of it. It's massive. It's a huge difference. So you can see why the magnets would be a lot stronger. And I'll try to show you guys some B-roll and things of that, of how actually strong they are. And I really like these for security purposes or anything. They're very strong magnets, in some cases too strong. So for certain people, they may have trouble actually getting it off of the rack. Anything above shoulder height is very difficult to pull out of the rack. I'll show you some clips of that. So you know they're secure, which is something I like about it. But for certain people, they may be too strong. You may have trouble getting them off. Certain attachments, or especially above, like I said, over shoulder height. I even had trouble with them getting them loose over shoulder height. And I'll show you some clips of that in the B-roll where I'm pulling them off, and it's not only hard to get off, but it's shaking the entire rack. So you know if you put that attachment on, it's strong and it's sturdy. So just something to be aware of. They're the biggest, baddest, beefiest, but they also may be the most expensive. So to get this level of mag pin, or stacked power pin as they call it, you're gonna have to pay for it. I believe these are $79 per pin. That's for the Bare Steel option, which is what I have. And I think they're just fine. They do have, I think, over 18 different colorways. So you can get these Cerakoted if you want, but that's an upcharge. I think it was $150 per pin, something I'll show you to be sure. Custom end caps, you can get custom end caps for $60, and that will increase the time, but you can get any of these in whatever color you want. You can get customized end caps, your own certain logo, or you can switch. They have options for end caps. You can get this one, or I think just the skull by itself, or the American flag logo. Those are all options that they have standard. You get your choice of those. I just went with the straight black. But when you do those options, it does increase the price of it dramatically. So going from $79, I think it's $79.95 for one. If you get a pair, you actually get a $10 price break, so it takes that down $10. And then if you use my code CC10, that's coachcarp 10, that'll take off another $10. So you could get these for about $149 shipped. Bare Steel equipment does have free shipping, so you may have to pay tax depending on your state laws or where they're located. But that would save you another $10 because it's about basically about another $10 in tax. So really, you get these for tax and free shipping if you use that discount code. So do that if you're interested in these. It definitely save the money and get those. But if you want the biggest, baddest pins on the market, these are definitely those. I did want to mention a much longer version, which I do offer for band pegs. I think those would be very beneficial in that type of situation because you're usually not going to have those stacked side by side on a rack doing pulls or anything with those with band pegs. Or on a weight stack, they do have a smaller version with a very strong magnets that you can use for a weight stack on a weight stack on like a lat pull down or any type of cable machine that you do have. And I think those will work well in that instance. So there's a couple of things I don't like about them, and it's not really anything that's a deal breaker. You may have seen, and I had the same experience, but some of the reviews and the other things you've heard online is that the ends are too big. And you'll see that when you have it next to like a standard pin, it's almost twice the size. I think this one is, we'll just check it right here. So you're looking at 1.96 inches on the generic one. The Bare Steel one, I'm right at 2.73. So about twice the size when you count the total diameter. The pin size, the head or end cap is about twice the size. And you can see that, like if you put it in there, you see what I'm saying? So that's one thing I don't like about it. When you put them on a rack, you can't put these side by side or in holes next to each other. Second thing that I would like is if the chamfer was a little bit bigger or even more rounded. Like there's one on here, but it's very small. For some of these other ones, they have a rounded tip. You'll see how that's rounded. It makes it much easier to get inside. Slides right in. You can see how that makes it much easier. If I do it with this one, it's a little bit more funky. So I would like maybe a rounded tip or more chamfer. I think that, in my opinion, that would just make it better. But there's nothing wrong with it as is. It still works well. But that's one thing that I think would make it better that I would actually prefer if possible. And the only other really thing, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker, is the magnets in the 6-shooter design are exposed. They're pressed in, but they are exposed. So over time, those could come out. I've never had them come out. I've never seen them come out, but those are exposed. So that's something that could happen down the road is the magnets could come out, but I've never seen it happen. I haven't heard anyone do it. So that's something to be aware of. That's really the only two negatives I see is and I guess technically the power of the magnets could be too strong. I'll put it all the way in here. I'm trying to pull from the side. It's taking all that body weight to get it out. So for some people, that could be a negative, is that they're actually too strong. But if you're looking for strong string magnets, you're going to use them on lever arms or anything like that, these will definitely be the pick. Just know that you're not going to be able to stack them side by side because on hole spacing, they're not going to line up. So you're going to have at least one hole gap on a 1-inch rack. So they should fit on any 1-inch 3x3 rack or any of those budget racks you have out there with the 1-inch spacing. They would just hang out. You just have extra gap out the side. So take a look at these. I would recommend them definitely they're not that much more than some of the other brands out there, and they're a lot stronger and sturdier. You have things like O Club out there. They're about $100 for a pair, and they're not as long. They're not the 5-inch usable length, and they're also not, the magnets are not as strong. So that's one thing to be aware of. If you need big 1-inch mag pins, there's some budget ones out there, but none of these that are to this quality. And machining, the 5-inch usable shaft and the machined end, they look awesome. But take a look at those guys. I'll leave the links in the description if you want to take a look at these. Don't forget to use that code CC10, that's coachcarp10, to save on these mag pins. If you want the biggest ones, the biggest, baddest ones on the market, it's Bare Steel Equipment. Thanks for watching today, guys. Stay tuned if you want to see the next installment in the series. We try to bring you the biggest and baddest mag pins on the market. Which ones are best for your home gym? Stay tuned. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see the next item in the series. Thanks for watching, and go lift. Oh, hey, here's a special one for the OnlyFans if y'all stay till the end. How strong are they? Let's find out. Hammer time. Cheapo. Cheapo. Bare Steel Equipment. Pretty strong.